This one starts about 3.5 feet, and again has now climbed to nearly 18 feet in the span of 6 hours, updating in real time here on the screen for you, and is not expected to finish climbing until 8 a.m., cresting at 8 a.m. near or at record levels. And so you can follow this flow all the way out along the Cape Fear River, just pushing out the timeline little by little as the water flows down. You might not even start to see a rise until later Monday or Tuesday. We are going to see some near or at record level floods here in the Carolinas. And that's why now we know this storm came ashore early this morning, about 4 or 5 a.m. or so. Dan Whitaker here in North Myrtle Beach, feeling some of those winds, gusty winds. Okay, over 40 to 50 mile per hour sustained winds. You can see it in Dan's face. You can see it in the trees blowing around. If you want to check out more of what happened in Myrtle Beach, we have a whole hour with Dan on our YouTube channel, driving around Myrtle Beach with some of the observations that happened there this morning. As the storm came through the central part of the North Carolina, Southern Pines was one of those areas where we saw a lot of the rain. These are pictures on your screen right now from the town of Southern Pines, where the Kohl's Shopping Center on Brucewood Road flooded. Now, this was due to the failure of a retaining wall on the property, and first responders were on scene to assist with the evacuations of this shopping center. Okay. And so the town of Southern Pines not only had to deal with the failure of that retaining wall, they also had a dam failure. Now, when you picture dam, you're probably picturing something like the Hoover Dam, but there are a lot more smaller dams in neighborhoods across this country that look a little something like this. If you're listening on our audio podcast right now, this looks to be maybe a golf course, and this maybe is a cart path here. Okay. So it's probably not even a dam you would think twice of, other than it's like a berm. Okay. It's like a little hill that was keeping the water back in a retaining pond. That gave way, allowing all of the water that was being held back. The whole thing drained out. All that water came out very quickly, and you can see how it eroded away. This is the food bank on Central and Eastern North Carolina, 195 Sandy Avenue in the town of Southern Pines. It created a canyon in this parking lot that is, I'm going to estimate 4 or 5 feet deep. Down trees are numerous. It's hard to spot, but I think there's a car on the right-hand side of this picture. I think there was a car down at the base of that tree. I think I can actually zoom this in and get you a better look at this. Matter of fact, this town of Southern Pines photo, I think, does show a red vehicle there, just at the base where some of this water was flowing down along this roadway. This is Lakeside Court in the town of Southern Pines today. This is a home in Southern Pines. Let me see if we have an address. In Longleaf, we're looking at somebody's back patio. Maybe it's recessed into the ground. I can't really say for sure, but what I can say is the water is as high as that outdoor table. We see the top of the table. We see the top of a chair, maybe like a hot tub or a barbecue, something with a black covering on the left-hand side. So we're probably talking, how high is the table off the ground? 3 feet? 3.5 feet. Okay. Scenes like this playing out across communities. Town of Southern Pines, just one that is sharing a lot of these photos with us. Here is an even closer look at some of those, that car that maybe got swept off the roadway. We do have an updated flood warning coming in right now, and we're going to take you back over to our Carolina weather bot, okay? Because this is a flood warning that is updating the impact from moderate to major and increasing the duration. And again, this is the Haw River at Haw River affecting Alamance County. So we're going from a moderate flood to a major flood. And this will continue all through Monday and into early Tuesday morning. At 9:45 tonight, we were already at 25.5 feet. So that is when the water treatment plant starts to flood. We're only half a foot away from the trailer homes flooding and only 1.5 feet away from portions of the town of Haw River flooding. And the river is forecast to crest at 27.5 feet, which is going to bring the waters near or at the bottom of the bridge across I-40. This is a situation where if you live in Alamance County along the Haw River, you should pack a go bag. You should monitor for local evacuation notices if you are near the Haw River in Alamance County, because you need to be monitoring your wireless emergency alerts, your NOAA weather radio, your broadcast radio and television. We'll talk more about some of these individual flood reports here in just a moment. Yes, we did have a tornado, at least one, probably more than one, occur today as a part of Tropical Storm Chantal here in North Carolina. WRAL posting this, Mike Mays. Debris ball saw debris from the tornado elevated about 1,000 feet above the ground. The tornado spun up quickly from the east and hit the hangars and the aircraft. This is at the Raleigh Executive Jetport, then lofted the debris into the air. It all happened very quickly at about 3 p.m. in Lee County. So a debris ball is when radar sees something in the sky that is not rain. And so the tornado came through, went right over Raleigh Executive Jetport Airport, not Raleigh Durham, but Raleigh Executive Jetport Airport, picked up debris, pieces of metal, pieces of wood, and tossed it up into the air. And once it's up there in the air, that's when the radar can see it. And that's what that debris ball signature is. We also had these pictures come in from Christian Etheridge. And you can see the before and after of a likely tornado that ripped through a neighborhood here near Mabin. Okay, you can see snapped trees, patio furniture all thrown around. You can literally see where those trees just snapped in half, some 10, 20 feet up from the base. We do have flooding ongoing tonight. We just retweeted this over in the Carolina Weather Group account from Page here. This is in Chapel Hill. So Chapel Hill, I see post office vehicles and things in the water. We see a home with water up several feet, maybe about 4 feet into the first floor over there on Willow Drive, it looks like that might be. And so we're going to keep a very close eye on that. But just how many flood reports have we received so far? Well, the National Weather Service, who has done a phenomenal job all day long of issuing these real-time warnings across the Carolinas, is also working to verify as quickly as possible storm damage reports. So we had flooding reported here at Bowmore. Norton Road flooded and closed due to floodwaters. Also here near Wagram. I think that's the one we just received. We had a tornado reported by a broadcast meteorologist who observed multiple trees down, at least one large pine tree along Moncure-Pittsboro Road. And the type of tree does matter because it's going to take a stronger tornado to topple a bigger tree. We did have thunderstorm wind damage, more trees knocked down here near High Park. And then we start getting more flood reports. Pittsboro, road closed. Oakwood Drive, Silver City. We have roads closed across Chapel Hill, which were shown in some of those pictures from Page, because we also have houses flooded here along Route 501/15 and South Elliott Road. Chapel Hill still, mail trucks submerged. Okay, I think those are all from the same tweet I just showed you. So you can kind of see how social media does play a role in getting a lot of this verified. Also, Highway 158, the East Bridge near Leesburg, was reported to have 2 or 3 feet of water over the roadway and has become impassable. So these are not just little side streets. These are some bigger major roads. Tornado damage possibly here in the Wilmington area. Let me tell you about this one. This looks like it occurred real early this morning, maybe about 4:30 or so. National Weather Service survey team did find damage consistent with a weak tornado near the Kings Grant subdivision in Wilmington and along Cornelius Moore Avenue, Corn Branch Road in Wilmington. Damage included large tree limbs, couple of snapped and uprooted trees, and minor shingle damage. So you can see they did have that there. And notably, yes, we will admit it did not have a tornado warning on it. It had a flash flood warning on it, but I don't have a red polygon. We did have 2 injuries. Colleton County, South Carolina Emergency Management reports 2 injuries. 2 people rescued from currents off of Palmetto Boulevard on Edisto Beach. They were transported to the hospital due to respiratory distress. We do not want to see that. On Wednesday night, when we're back for our weekly Carolina Weather Group podcast, we'll take another look at all these storm reports, because I suspect by that point, the Weather Service will have an opportunity to go back through even more of these, and we'll get even more of these filled out. But you can see how we, again, between looking at where the rainfall totals were and looking at where the storm warnings were and looking at where the storm reports are so far, there is a clear swath right across central North Carolina where some of the major impacts were felt, have been felt, and will be continued to be felt